Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, my name's Chris. This is my super high mileage 350Z. And today is my first ever attempt drifting. Let's go. So we've just arrived at D-pad. I'm currently with Matt in his GT86, me in the 350. One of us is definitely going to crash today. One of us is definitely going to crash today. And oh boy, I didn't have a clue how right I was going to be there. If you want to see me fail, make sure you stay tuned.
Second gear. Yeah, second gear. You have to almost handbrake it in when I did, or clutch drop it in.
So the first corner, having the traction on, not the best start. Let's go for number 2.
Is your traction off? Yeah, go on, cool shot. I think too aggressive.
So as you can see, Matt's camera work is absolutely on point in this clip. But you know, the first run obviously was a bit hit and miss. There was some success and a lot of failure, but you know, that's part of the learning process.
Your handbrake. Yeah, that's it. I like handbrakes into it almost. Oh, your handbrake's wank, yeah. Oh! Go on, another corner, Yes! Oh! Yes! And then you're up there. Yeah, it's in one corner, alright.
So that's the first run complete. I think one successful corner. So not bad for the first time out. Now it was time for Matt and Baz to take centre stage and show us what they're made of. So it was quite nice to see that it wasn't just me that was useless at this. As a first time, you're always going to be rubbish. So it's all about getting some practice in and getting some seat time. Did you have a nice spin, pal? So this is probably the moment that you've all been waiting for, and the reason that you've clicked on this video. This is where my lack of experience, lack of knowledge, and just generally sending it attitude really bites me in the arse. Now unfortunately the camera I was using inside the car decided it didn't want to be mounted very well, and I kind of visually missed the clip on this camera, but you can hear what happens.
Took 2 minutes. Go back, yeah? Is it coming off? Am I wedged?
Oh no. Your boy has completely overcooked it. I've made a right mess of this. I've smashed up all the front bumper, annihilated both the arches, the under tray. But I think it's gonna live another day. It doesn't look too bad, it could be a lot worse. You know, that's the thing with this sort of thing. You're gonna make a mess of your car, and it's never gonna be perfect. That's why half of the cars here look so battered. But you know what? All in, not too bothered. I think I can find a replacement bumper for pretty cheap. So I suppose we just kind of bodge it back together and keep on going. So now I've lost my drifting virginity and also my crashing virginity. It's time to go again, and hopefully this time I'm not going to smash it. can only apologise, by the way, for the quality of the shots inside the cars. My camera was not the necessary best camera to use for these sorts of shots, but it is what it is.
Here we go, Chris. I'm ready for death. Doesn't feel like you're scarer.
What should I say?
It's well slippy now.
Oh no, yeah, it's like ice in there.
This camera's bare zoomed in. Yeah, a little clutch kick, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh! Yes! Oh! Oh my god, the size! I'm a madman. Clutch kick.
Mate, this one's rogue.
Yes, that's it. Keep it going. Yes! Sick! The corners are so one slippy, one ain't, ain't it?
It's definitely opening up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Just comes like
It just
so
snaps,
skitty,
like the dip
yeah.
is opening basically.
That's what it feels in the car. It feels so unpredictable.
At 25 mile an hour, the diff just opened.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So now it was Matt's turn to take the wheel and drive in anger and show the world how much of a drift king he really is. The tension was building, the lights were approaching, and the pressure was on.
Yeah.
The time was now, and this was his one and only opportunity to make things right and show the world his excellence. So in position, Matt takes the wheel, pulls on the handbrake, and performs this.
Oh, he's cooked it. He's cooked it.
So I think it's pretty safe to say that all of us on this day had our fair share of spins, slides and uncontrolled moments, but that's all part of the process. And it's all about learning how to control your car right on the edges, what drifting is essentially. So you've really got to push it to the edge to be able to experience that, and crashing is part of that. And that's why I think it's important that you go with a car that you're not too bothered about and you won't be too butthurt about if you crash. I think you've really got to go in with that mentality, and that's the only way that you're really going to enjoy yourself. If you worry about crashing too much, it's always going to be on your mind. Mine, I didn't need to do like a full, especially towards the end of the day where it's a bit more like
you could just use your power.
Almost, yeah. I just had to give it a tiny little blip and it was going. But yeah, you've really got to got to go in like hot as hell, ain't you?
Dumping the clutch.
Yeah. Mashing up the handbrake and loves it. Okay, so we're finally just packing up for the day. Matt's sticking his wheels back on. I'm driving home with my drifty wheels because I've still got plenty of tread on them. And yeah, it's definitely a baptism of fire for me coming here today. I've never really done any drifting before or anything like that, and I think that showed in the crash on the second outing. Matt had a bit of a better day out than me, I think. He's a bit more successful.
I'm a winner.
He's a winner apparently, but I think we'd say, because we all participated, mate, we're all winners. So now, back to the unit. So it's now the day after our drift event and the day after our little mishap on the 350Z. And to be honest with you, the car is hanging out its arse. So now I think the next thing to do is get this cleaned up, get it pulled inside, and I can evaluate how far the damage has gone on the front end and start to look at some of the other niggles and the next few jobs to do to keep the car maintained, because it's looking really sorry for itself, let's face it. So first thing, let's get it cleaned. So there was absolutely no way that I was going to be pulling this car this dirty inside our nice clean workshop. So after a good clean over using MA Detailing Products wheel cleaner, snow foam and shampoo, the car was looking much better, and I wouldn't get our workshop quite as dirty. Obviously we've worked really hard to develop that range of cleaning products, so make sure you check out the link in the description and go and get some bought. Okay, so I've dropped the bumper down and had a good look around, you know, the front end of the car where the damage was, and I can't see anything split, bent, or anything like that, so it's looking pretty promising. The only things that have kind of took a bit of a hit is these little trays, which I think kind of slot in as part of, I think they go here? I can't exactly remember anyway, but they are no longer attached or attachable, but it's not the end of the world, they're not exactly important, so they can stay off. It's just a case now of deciding whether to pull the under tray now or kind of try and bodge it on a bit more so it can survive a bit longer, but that's definitely took you know, a bit of a hit, as well as the wheel arch. I think this may have already been toast, I'm struggling to remember, but there's a nice big hole here. It's definitely not going to have been helped by the impact. So my original intention was to actually refit the under tray, but when I tried doing that, it was obvious it was just never going to happen. So we ripped that straight off and anything else that it attached to, and just threw the bumper back on. So everything is back together on the 350Z, and I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking. Around this headlight is looking a little bit off, but I'll put that down to the bumper being deformed. The rear wheels are refitted again, and yeah, we're looking all right. Even though it's not looking perfect, I'll order a new front bumper and it'll be good to go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It was quite nice to get out with the car and do something with it. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.